See if we all right, saying that we live now.
Good to go, bro.
Straight,
Yeah.
come belong. All right. Hey, we want to give all praises to Yahweh by Yashim, Yahweh Shai by Yashim
Right.
Wakar. Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well and peace to you brothers out there that's kicking this word, sincerity, awesome truth. I got the brother, the Kahan from Mississippi with me, the brother Abaya. And we just wanted to come with a quick sit down. Hopefully it will be concise on how chattel slavery is not biblical. A lot of people that are atheists like to use the argument that slavery is in the Bible, which is true. Slavery is in the Bible, but there is a certain way in which you're supposed to be ruling your slaves, and also if you would read the various laws on slavery in the Bible, it's really going into how you're supposed to treat your employee because it's talking about these various laws really go into how you're supposed to treat a Hebrew slave. Because say there was certain instances to where if somebody didn't have enough money, or a Hebrew didn't have enough money, or Israelite didn't have enough money, um, he would sell himself to a fellow, Hebrew Israelite, or he would be employed by a fellow Hebrew Israelite. Now it would be free for 7 years, and you would let him go. You see, but within those 7 years, you couldn't just do anything that you wanted to with, your slave or your servant. Couldn't just, butt break your servant, or rape his wife. That particular servant was still under the law, statute, and commandments because he was under your household, man. In fact, when you had a slave, in your house, he had to follow that was a heathen. He had to follow, after your customs. So when the Sabbath came in, he would be off. When our New Year came in, which is the Passover, he would have to keep the Passover. So you wouldn't just treat him like, a dang on animal, contrary to what these Edomites did to us. You see, and also, if you want to use the argument of slavery, it's in the Bible, and if you're a heathen, how would you how are you supposed to treat your slaves, or what law, statute, commandments would you use, in order to treat your slaves? You see, because if you're a heathen, that person is a heathen, you know, and you're saved by grace. How you where's the measuring sticks? You see, so that's how we know that Christianity is complete contradiction, and also it's a handmaid that was used, you know, uh, for white supremacy. You see, it was a rationalization for them to put themselves in a ruler class, you know, uh, format, if you will, or like for lack of a better term. But let's go ahead and grab these scriptures. We're gonna grab Psalms 50 and 16. Hey, did you have anything to say?
No, well said, bro.
Okay, come on.
All right, brother. This is Psalms 50 and 16. And it states, but unto the wicked the most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
Says so for the wicked, which we're alluding to Edomites. What do you have to do with the law, statute, commandments of the Bible, man? You see, you have absolutely nothing to do with it, man, because you broke every single commandment with your actions, man. In a huge way that you have done that is how you treated the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, man. You know, because you're not supposed to steal a man, okay, and sell them. That's really against the scriptures. You see, so to say that your actions are correct by taking us, and placing us in the diaspora, sending us to these various places. You know, we wasn't in war with you guys. You guys did that because, you know, it was in your power and your hand to do, which is contrary to the scriptures. Okay, don't you can't sit here and say that that's biblical because it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So to the wicked, what do you have to do with the scriptures, man? You have absolutely nothing to do with the law, statutes, commandments of these scriptures, man. Go
That's right.
ahead, Doc.
All right. Back in the scripture, Psalm 50 and 17. Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee.
Keep going, Doc.
Okay. Hey, bro, I got a quick example regarding that.
Con.
Hey, this is Matthew, the 14th chapter, verse 1. At that time, Herod the Tetrarch
Mm,
heard, heard of the fame of Yahushua. Verse 2. And said unto his servants, this is John the Baptist. He is risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him.
mm,
For Herod had laid hold on John and bound him and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. Verse 4, and this is the point. For John said unto him, it is not lawful for thee to have her,
mm,
because he was
mm,
committing adultery.
mm,
Verse 5, and when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude because they counted him as a prophet. But long story short, Herod still beckoned to what Herodias had requested through her daughter. But the point is, going to Psalms 50 and 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. Because John the Baptist gave Herod the law. All right, you don't supposed to commit adultery, with your brother's wife. Period. But at the same time frame, he still murdered him.
that's right, and that's a beautiful example because what's the, hopefully I'm saying it right there. Herodian dynasty, not the Hasmonean, but the Herodian dynasty was established by who? By Edomites, man.
That's right.
Because you had Hyrcanus II. He was taking counsel with Antipas, the father of Herod. Okay, to the point to where they were able to basically take down the Hasmonean dynasty, which was established by the Maccabean revolt. And so if you read in Matthew 3, you had it to where Herod, he's supposed to be the king of the Jews. What was he doing? He was slaughtering the Israelite children, man, because he knew that Yahushua was being born. So these people have absolutely nothing to do with these scriptures, man. You see,
That's right.
they like to play like they're righteous and things of that nature, but they have always taken our culture and perverted it, man.
That's
And
right.
Herod is a beautiful example.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
All right. Back in Psalm 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee. You want me to keep going, bro?
kind, bro.
Okay. Verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him and hast been partaker with adulterers.
That's right. Going to that goes into beautiful what you had just brought up, man.
Bro.
Being partakers of adulterers, man. And that's these people who are calling themselves Christians. You see what I'm saying? During the time of slavery, they were willing to, have sex forms and things of that nature. Which is, if you want to get technical against the scriptures, you're not supposed to be a whoremonger if you call yourself a Christian. You see, and then also you have to factor in these various sex forms, and particularly in Jamaica, you had to where these Edomite men were going and popping little boys, man. That's contrary to the scriptures, man. That's not written for you to do. You know what I'm saying with your slaves. That's an abomination, man. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And for that, you're supposed to be destroyed by the Heavenly Father. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But see, these people are take hold of the law, such commandments. You see, and perversity to for their filthy acts.
That's right.
You see, go ahead, up.
You come, bro. Verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Verse 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son.
That's right, and he does that now with his media. You see, and he did that, during the time of slavery, man, with his false religion, which was Christianity. He said that we came from the lineage of Ham, and what is justified these people are in slavery because they're supposed to be servants unto us, you know, and they basically put themselves as the new Israelites, if you will, man. A prime example of that is how they treat the people of South Africa, man, the Calvinists. You see, totally destroyed those people and had them in apartheid well into the 90s, man. That was based off of your skin color. It wasn't based off of the fact that they sold themselves into slavery. They was indentured servants. You see what I'm saying? Or they was in war. The scriptures state that you're not supposed to oppress a man in his land.
That's right.
You see? But what do these people do? They went to these various lands and oppressed them. Okay? So we know that these people have nothing to do with the scriptures, man.
Yeah. I got a quick
Hey,
verse.
come.
Hey, this is Job 13:4, Odie. But ye are forgerers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value.
Mm. Read that one more time.
Yeah, this is back in the scripture, Job in 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye
Mm.
are all physicians of no values.
That's right. Y'all are gonna forge your lives for positions of no value, man. You see, here they are. They have all these so-called sciences that they use to rationalize their iniquity, man. You see what I'm saying? Terminology where they'll take a skull of a child and place it to a adult Edomite male skull and say, "Look, our skull are totally different. That means that ours is bigger, so we're genetically smarter and then infused it with Christianity and use it as a rationalization to put us into total hell, man."
That's right. Even if you think about like their so-called pharmaceutical industry, all right, when you
That's
go
right.
into that term physicians, it goes into the term physic, and when you break down that term physics, it means like natural. Okay, so everything Esau does to treat you is unnatural, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of the scripture, Psalms 50:20, it talks about how thou slanderest thy own mother's brother. When you go into that term devil, it doesn't necessarily, well, not only does it mean deceiver, but it means false accuser as well as a slanderer. So Esau fits the descriptions that classifies him as the fucking wicked. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right, bro.
What you got,
That's
bro?
right. Well, I was going to say, uh, let's go ahead and jump to the law, bro. And
You want that
yeah,
Isaiah, right?
nah. Well, the point was made. What we just brought out would be
Okay.
kind of yeah. Let's go to Exodus 21.
Yeah. Hey, this is Exodus 21:1. It states, now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. Verse 2, if thou buy an Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve. And in the seventh, he shall go out free for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4, if his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself.
right. So if you have a wife and you can and somebody bought you, you became an indentured servant. You and your wife are supposed to stay together when that 7 years is up. Also you're supposed to be free in 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? If you want to go about it, what the scriptures say, you know, being that okay, you know that you're a heathen, this person's a heathen, right? Africans are heathens, right? You're an Edomite, you're a European, right? And if you want to go by the law, statute, commandment, after 7 years, you're supposed to let him go. If he has a wife, now if he has children underneath you know, underneath your house, you supposed to keep the children. Now if you give him a wife, you supposed to keep the wife and the children. You see,
Mm-hmm.
that's at your discretion.
That's right.
Go ahead, Al.
Yeah. Back into the scripture. It states verse 5, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Verse 6, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever.
That's right. So if he decides he wants to stay with you, what's he'll bring him to the judges, give him an earring, right? And he's supposed to be that man serving forever.
That's
You
right.
see, but it's his decision. You see what I'm saying? Not stealing the man like they did, to us. You see,
Right.
instead they're doing it under the pretenses of the law, statutes, commandments. That's going off. You see, which we'll get to.
Okay.
Go ahead, now.
All right, verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maid servant, he shall not go out as the men servants do.
That's right. So if a man had a child, well, a daughter, and wanted to sell her to as a servant, he could do so. That's
Mm-hmm.
proof there that women, in the ancient world, was just seen as property. You see,
Yeah, they're assets.
they're assets. You see. Go ahead, Doc.
Hey, verse 8. If she please not her master who have betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed to sell her unto a strange nation. He shall have no power, seeing he have dealt deceitfully with her.
So if a man, because usually when somebody would sell his daughter, they were gonna get married. He was gonna marry her off. You know what I'm saying? To a Hebrew Israelite. Now, if that man got with this woman and he didn't, prefer her, he couldn't sell off to a strange nation. You see, because he had dealt with her deceitfully. You see what I'm saying? So there's laws even with in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, verse 9. And if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters.
Now, if a man says, you know what, you're gonna be my son's wife, you have to deal with that woman as a daughter-in-law. What was
Mm-hmm.
going on there in slavery? A woman was getting raped by the son, by the father, cousins.
Yeah,
They had sex forms, man.
that's
You're not
right.
supposed to be doing that. That's going off.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it had nothing to do with the scriptures, man. You know. Go ahead,
Yeah, verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Mhm.
Verse 11. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money.
So if you deal with her treacherously, you're supposed to let this woman go without money. Just let her go free. What was going on during slavery, man? Our women getting raped. You see what I'm saying? Used as cattle. Like I said earlier, you had sex farms to where they have a man that were this locked up in cage, and they would bring a woman, a young girl in there, and just get raped by a random man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That was going off. You ain't supposed to do that according to the scriptures. You see, if you want, again, if you want to use the example of the scriptures, you see, slavery was about, if you really go into the law, which if you go, dealing with, Hebrews, putting, having Hebrew servants, that was going into what, basically you working off your debt.
Yeah.
Now in Leviticus the 25th chapter, we could have these other nations into captivity. You know what I'm saying? And perpetual slavery forever.
Mm-hmm.
You see, but you Edomites on the chosen people, man.
Right.
You know, you ain't the chosen people.
Yeah.
And secondly, how you were doing it was totally off, man.
Right.
As I said earlier, I gave the example of sex forms. Not to mention butt breaking. Here you are, a grown ass man raping another man in front of his children, which is totally going off according to the scriptures. What's that in Leviticus? Leviticus 18, going
Okay.
into the law of homosexuality.
Okay. Okay. You want that?
Yeah, 18 and what 20?
That's what I. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm getting there now.
I could grab it too, bro.
No. You know
18.
what? 22, brother.
It's 22.
Yeah, I jumped to it. This is Leviticus 18 and 22. It states, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination.
And that's what they were doing during slavery. You had butt breaking going on to where they take a slave and rape him in front of his children and his wife. You had
Mm-hmm.
sex forms to where it was nothing but little boys gyrating.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For these white pedophiles, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's off according to the scriptures, man.
Right.
You see? So don't these people out here that want to use you know uh you know uh that want to say, excuse me, that the Bible is wicked because it condones slavery. Well, you haven't read the scriptures. You see, you don't know what the law, statutes, commandments are on slavery. You see,
Yeah, and slavery is just a part of. All right, that's how the Most High designed His protocol, man. Okay, and how can you fucking run a kingdom if you don't have slaves anyway? All right, but the way we deal with our people regarding them being Hebrew servants is totally different. When we're gonna deal with you other nations, man. All right, because you're supposed to uphold the law, statutes, and commandments and all righteousness, man. But you Edomites, you're sinister. You're just programmed to do wickedly, and that's what you do, man. Everything the law, statutes, and commandments say, you counter it by doing something else.
wicked as hell, dog.
Wicked as fuck, man.
Like,
And then you
bro,
have the fucking audacity to classify yourself as the children of Yahweh Shem
yeah,
Shah, or
yeah,
the sons of Yahweh Shem Shah,
yeah, the beacon of light.
the beacon of
Now
light.
they exclude the Most High. They say, you know what? I'm just the best on the earth. Like
Kind,
I'm the most evolved. I had the biggest brain. According to the stats, my IQ is the best out there, and it's just all a bunch of lies, man.
right.
That they have put together to really just condone their madness, the wickedness, bro. You know. Hey, can you jump to verse 20?
Yeah, I kind of got you. Back in Exodus 21 and 20 states, and if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished.
Woo, that's a cut. So
Yeah,
you
huge.
you beating up your slaves, and one of them die, you supposed to be punished for that.
That's right.
But the so-called white man did that for fun. You see, he did that for fun, bro. Come on now. There's accounts that I used to read that where the you know women used to get mad at their slaves, used to get upset, about everyday life, and they would go and they would just beat their slaves, bro, knocking their teeth out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Things of that nature. What does it say in the next verse? Go ahead,
Yeah, come on, brother. Back into the scripture. It states, hold on, where am I at?
21.
21, right? The water. Back in Exodus 21 and 21. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Verse,
So if he lived, then guess what? You know, he all right because that's his money, that's his property. You see, but you had it to where these Edomites, man, they were going above and beyond, bro.
that's right.
Hey, jump to verse 26.
All right. Exodus 21, 26. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake.
Ooh, that's a cut. So somebody like Harriet Tubman, you
Yeah.
know, whose eye got messed up, she technically was supposed to go free.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get technical,
Right.
you see, when I get hit in the head with an iron, like, get your ass up and go back in the field.
Yeah, they
Now she's
didn't.
going
Yeah,
to
they
get
didn't
let go.
exercise that law, bro.
Nope, they didn't exercise that law at all. You see, go ahead out.
A verse 27. And if he smites out his manservant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake.
Think about what was going on in the movie in the 12 Years of Slave.
Time.
You well, actually that movie, but the Nat Turner story. That's a better one. They were knocking those their servants' teeth out and force feeding them.
That's right.
According to the law, you supposed to let them go free after
That's
doing
right.
something like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Time, bro.
That's going off, man.
Hey, bro, I got a precept for you.
Go ahead, Art.
This is Deuteronomy 21 and 22, and it states, and if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be, I'm sorry, Salaki, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree. Verse 23, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree,
Mm,
but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day, for he that is hanged is a curse of the Most High, that the land be not defiled, which the Lord Yahweh, thy power, give thee for an inheritance.
man, that's a cut. They would hang us, you see, for things that were not punishable
Mm-hmm.
unto death, which is wicked. They would hang us and then shoot the body up,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Set it on fire.
set on fire, scare the body, like it's this dang on fish, make coats out of it. All types of wickedness, man.
That's right.
You see, that had nothing to do with the scriptures, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But the so-called white man wants to say that he's uh you know that he is the son of God. Come on, man.
Yeah, you the son of Jesus, goddamn.
Yeah, you the son of Jesus, all right. So rap is Christians, man.
Right.
You know. Hey, y'all, let's jump to Psalms, not Psalms,
Leviticus.
um, Leviticus 25.
All right, where you want? You want 39, right?
Yeah, it started 39.
Come on, bro. Hey, this is Leviticus 25 and 39. If thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant.
Mm-hmm.
Verse
Keep
40.
going.
But as an hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee and shall serve thee until the year of Jubilee.
Mm. So you're supposed to let them go after 7 years. What we just read in Exodus 21st chapter. You know,
Kind. I want to say, what's that Jubilee? Is that like 50?
Jubilee.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. I can look it up for
You know what?
edification
I may be
because
going
I
off.
thought it was every 7 years.
Yeah, you may be. Yeah, I think that's right. You're right. You're right. It's a lot.
We can look it up though, just for edification.
Yeah, I'm here now. It's Yawah Yawah Ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it states ram horn jubilee year marked by the blowing of cornets.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all it says, bro. Let me see. The trumpets of Jubilee playing the simple distinction.
Yeah, the Jubilee is a year at the end of 7 cycles of Shemitah, and according to biblical regulations, had a special impact on the ownership and management of land and the land of Israel. Because every 7 years we would have to let the land rest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that would constitute it right there.
Yeah, yeah, because the lexicon it states the 10th day of the 7th month, by which it was announced to the people this year was the 50th. So yeah, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
Come,
kind
bro.
of. No, good. It's good that we looked it up. You know,
All right, bro. Back into the
kind of.
scripture. All right, it states yeah, back in Leviticus 25 and 40, but as an hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and he shall serve thee until the year of Jubilee.
That's right. So 7 years, you're supposed to let them go. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah. Verse 41. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
That's right. So a man would fall into hard times and he would sell himself into basically bondage. He would be an indentured servant and you're supposed to let him go after that 7 years, man. You see what I'm saying? Now, what was going on there in sharecropping? Where it was perpetual slavery going on. Because after slavery occurred, you had it to where, you know, certain slaves have little small patches of land. What would the so-called white man do? Well, he would have it to where you he would buy the seeds uh, uh, from the so-called white man, and also uh, have to pay a huge lump sum of money, to that to him, to the white man. You see, so that perpetual slavery was still going on. Well, that's going off according to the scriptures, man. Sharecropping was another form of slavery. You see, perpetual servitude. After that 7 years, you're supposed to let him go with his possessions. He's supposed to be able to build his family up,
Bro.
build his land up, sell his own crops and things of that nature. But the so-called white man, being the devil that he is, what did he do? He put our people into that hardcore bondage once again. You
God.
see,
Hey, bro,
and
can
I'm
I ask?
go ahead, Al.
Hey, just to clarify where I got that 50 from. This is Leviticus, actually in the same chapter, bro. Leviticus 25 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna read verse 9 and verse 10. It states, Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the seventh month, and the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. Verse
Mhm.
10. And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and he shall return every man unto his family.
Con.
So it's just like a reset.
It's a reset.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reset. Yep. Yep. Con, brother. Yeah. But going back to what I was saying, is speaking from his experience, bro. My grandparents were sharecroppers, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, look, man, my family working for his people for a long time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that was that perpetual slavery. A lot of people say that I get over slavery in the 1800s, but forms of slavery was still going on, you know, and it's prevalent here in the South. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's going off according to the scriptures, man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and just hey, and if they're so righteous, why we didn't get that year of Jubilee?
Yeah,
Where was that at?
right, right. Yep. That reset. If
That
we
reset.
are if we are the children of God, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like like they say, the Christians say, if we're all equal according to the word of God. You know what I'm saying? What was that equality at when y'all was beating our asses, man?
Right.
You know?
Hey, I got a quick one, bro.
Go ahead, Doc.
Hey, this is Zechariah 1 and 15. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
Mm. Yep. So, and how they do that? By placing us into hardcore bondage, and afterwards, placing these unrighteous decrees on us, man. In the South, you had the Jim Crow laws. You see, then after the whole so-called civil rights movement, you know, desegregation happened, but you had redlining going on, to stop us from being able to get credit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, you had the industrial prison complex when Jake was getting locked up, for having small amounts of crack cocaine. You see what I'm saying? You replaced another form of slavery. Placing us in hyper segregated communities and giving us all sorts of manners of abominable foods, poisonous alcohol like 40s. you know, building our apartments with lead, placing us into these various parts of the city that was polluted, which is a term called environmental racism. You see,
Mm-hmm.
this man has done a lot to keep us at the bottom, man. And it's a miracle that we're still here. But that's how you know the Lord is dealing with us, man.
Right.
And all the things that we've been through, guess what? They can't stop us.
Mm-hmm.
You see, this man ain't about being right and being equal. That's just a lie that he tells us. You see, in this sit down going into what the scriptures say about slavery is a prime example. This man
That's
been
right.
lying to us, man. And the fact and his form of slavery has really kept a lot of our people from coming back to their heritage, man. You see, so this man is a complete devil. You know. Go ahead, Akia.
Come on, bro. The scripture states, I'm in 40, right?
Yeah,
41.
41.
Yeah, Leviticus 25 and 41. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
Right. Keep going on.
Verse 42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
That's
And that's
right.
why the 50th year was so important, man, because if any Israelite was within debt, then that 50th year was actually an offset. It resetted everything,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Right.
But
Yep.
Esau don't give you that though, bro.
Esau don't give you that, bro. Esau give you perpetual usury. Like he the chosen people. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he's the one. Because according to the law, if you're a Israelite, you could have these other nations in perpetual slavery.
That's right.
Go ahead, Doc.
In verse 43, thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy power.
That's right.
Verse
So you
44,
ain't supposed to
both
be just beating the shit out your slaves, man, like they
right.
did to us. They had in some states they had it to where the slaves couldn't laugh. You see a slave having a good time or laughing, they would get beat for that, man. That's actually documented. Ruling with hella rigor, man. And
Uh,
nothing to do with the scriptures. Go ahead, Doc.
yeah, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids which thou shalt have shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
Hmm. So
Moreover,
you could buy them like if you're a Israelite, you could buy heathens as basically, you know what I'm saying, bondmaids and bond men. But
mm-hmm.
but the contradiction is this: if you say you're a Christian, you know, who is a heathen? If we everybody saved by grace, come on, man.
Yeah, that's all right there.
You know, go ahead, up.
And verse 45, moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Hmm.
Verse 46, and ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
So we are the children of God, brother. We're the children of God. You see what I'm saying?
God.
Of God. Then why aren't you rulers with such rigor, man? You see? See, this is the contradictions that we talk about. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's present in Christianity. And also, historically speaking, that we see, in Christianity, man.
Mm-hmm.
These people have nothing to do with these scriptures. You know, when they use certain parts of the Bible. Like we seen like the Nat Turner a movie to basically condone the wickedness and to make and they use Christianity, as I said earlier, as a handmaid to make us docile, man.
That's right.
So you go into these scriptures, they had nothing to do with what these scriptures taught, and also you're not supposed to steal a man and sell him. You see? Hey, let's go to Exodus 21, back to Exodus 21 and 16.
Okay. All right, this is Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
That's right. So if you steal a man and you sell him, you see, which that word steal means kidnap, you see. You're supposed to be put into slavery, man. I mean, well, you're supposed to be put to death. Excuse me.
Right.
And that's what they did to us on a massive scale. We have basically been kidnapped and taken. We were basically kidnapped, taken to the Western Hemisphere, man.
That's right.
The majority
These
of
other
us,
nations was involved too, bro.
the other nations, were involved.
Ishmael, Ham.
Yep. Even some of our own people.
Come, bro.
You know, which is nothing new under the sun. Just like the so-called white man is wicked. A lot of our people were wicked too. You know, they did the same thing in Chronicles. You know, matter of fact, just for edification, I prove it because our people were being wicked as heck, just like right along with the heathen, man, putting placing us into captivity. Exodus, I want to say it's 28. Exodus 28, 28. Yes, man. Judah and Captain. 20. Yo, that's 23. Duh, nigga. Uh, Here we go. Check this out, Hop. Chronicles 28:1.
Okay.
Ahaz was 20 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. But he did not that which was right in the sight of Yahweh, like David his father. For he walked in the way of the children of the king of Israel, and made also molten images before Balaam. Moreover, he burnt incense in the valley of the son of Hinnom, and burnt his children in the fire after the abomination of the heathen whom Yahweh had cast out before the children of Israel. So this guy was wicked as hell, sacrificing his children. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Wicked. He sacrificed also and burnt in incense in the high places and on the hills and under every green tree. Wherefore Yahweh his power delivered him into the hand of the king of Syria, and they smote him and carried away a great multitude of them captives and brought them to Damascus. And he was also delivered into the hand of the king of Israel, who smote him with a great slaughter. For Pekah, the son of Mael, slew Judah 120,000 in one day, which were all valiant men, because they had forsaken Yahweh, of their fathers, and Karai, a mighty man of Ephraim, slew Maaseiah, the king's son, and Azrikam, the governor of the house, and Elkanah, that was next to the king. And the children of Israel, check this out, carried away captive of their brethren 200,000 women, sons, and daughters, and took away much spoil from them, and brought the spoil to Samaria. So you had our people, they were teaming up with Syria and putting their own people into hardcore bondage, slaying them and everything like
Yeah.
that.
That's a beautiful point, bro.
You know, that's the same thing that happened when we were in the land of Africa.
I
We
got
had a
one
lot
for
of,
you.
go ahead, Doc.
Hey, I'm just gonna jump around, but I'm gonna get to the point. Hey, this is Genesis 37 and 17 about our forefather Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
And the man said, "They are departed hence, for I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan." I'm gonna just jump to the point. Verse Genesis 37:28. Then, then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lift up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt.
Mm,
That's our forefathers.
that's
And they
our
sold
people, bro.
Joseph. Yup.
That's our people, man. Going out being wicked right along with the heathen. You
Mm-hmm.
see? You see? So, man, these people got a lot of pay, a lot of, a lot to pay for lying on the scriptures, man. You know, so we just want to come with a quick sit down, bringing out, the hypocrisy of the so-called white man, and also debunk this whole notion that the Bible, condones the wickedness of chattel slavery, man. And most importantly, it was edifying. We want to give all praises to Yahweh by Yashem Yahweh Shah, by Yashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders that rule well, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his word, sincerity and truth. Shalom.